A new Aegean aircraft model in scale 500 has probably been one of the most anticipated and asked for models in years, and now we finally get one. And the good news is as well, it is a Herpa Wings Club model, so we can expect loads of additional details. And with that, hello and welcome to a new episode of Review, where we today will take a closer look at an Airbus A321NEO of Aegean Airlines. At the front of the box we have a cutout so we can get a glimpse of the aircraft model inside, and on top of that we find the Aegean branding. On the back side of the box, unfortunately, we get yet another example of Herpa's dreadful box design, so the only things of interest here is simply the fact that it states that it is a Wings Club model and that it is a limited edition. But before we get too far into today's episode, it is worth mentioning that this aircraft model does come with a stand. And here she is, the Airbus A321NEO in the new and brilliantly looking Aegean Airlines standard livery. Boy, have I been looking forward to this aircraft model. We were originally expecting it in 2021, but then the model got delayed to the beginning of 2022. But now we finally have it, and that of course means we have to take a closer look. And as always, we start our tour around the aircraft model with a look at the tail section, where we on the vertical stabilizer find the new Aegean Airlines color scheme and branding. And we also find a bit of printed details on the horizontal stabilizer. On the fuselage we then have the web address of the airline, the full registration code of the aircraft, the Greek and European flag, and do also notice these small red markings. These are some safety indicators as to where to cut into the fuselage in case of an emergency, something we don't get on standard models. And then of course towards the very tail of the aircraft we do also have some detailing around the APU exhaust. At the front of the aircraft and across the fuselage we then have the writing of Aegean and the aircraft type specification. We also find a Star Alliance logo, of which the airline is a full member. And notice also the plethora of small details, static ports, hatches, safety markings and sensors that have been printed on here. This looks brilliant. The cockpit section offers us the cockpit windows with the so typical black mask of the Neo. Unfortunately, the cockpit section does also look like it has been hit with a hammer. Herpa really has messed up the nose shape here and really does not do the model justice with this shoddy work. So let's move on from the dodgy nose and look at something that is actually good, like for example the engines, or more specifically the engine nacelles that have been kept in this dark blue color. The new color scheme of Aegean Airlines have the silver leading edge printed on, alongside many more small details like safety markings and small hatches. This looks really lovely. Also the physical detailing of these engines, very well made by Herpa Wings. For example, also here when we look into the front, where we very nicely can see the engine fan blades. Then on the fuselage just above the wings we also have the emergency exits printed on, which leads us straight to the wings, which we definitely should also take a closer look at. Starting off with the top side, where we have the different flap slats and spoilers carved out somewhat nicely. We have the markings for the emergency exit, we have the markings as to where to walk on the wing, and some different shades of grey for additional detailing. Very lovely indeed. The underside of the wings offers us some more nice physical detailing and the full registration code of the aircraft once more. And of course the Neo also has these lovely winglets, where we again find the Aegean color scheme and branding printed on. The landing gear on this aircraft model is the standard landing gear that Herpa uses for all their Airbus A320 family aircraft models, so that means we have a pretty decent looking main landing gear. The front landing gear is not the worst we've ever seen, but it is definitely not as good as it used to be a few years back, and we of course are missing some printed details around the front landing gear as well, which is a shame for a club model. When we then look at the belly of the aircraft, we can see there is a hole in the fuselage. However, as there is a stand with the aircraft model, it kind of makes sense, although I would have preferred not to have it. But we can also notice a little additional printed detail here on the side. And then last but certainly not least, we do also have the doors to the cargo compartments printed on here at the back of the aircraft, and also here at the front of the aircraft. So there we have it, the Airbus A321NEO in the new standard livery of Aegean Airlines in scale 1 to 500 from Herpa Wings. And what can we say about this aircraft model? I mean, it is a Herpa Wings Club model, so we did expect some additional detailing, and I must say Herpa has really gone all in with this aircraft model. The print quality itself is actually really good, and they have really added all the details the aircraft has in real life. The only thing that is missing are some printed details around the front and gear, which I find to be a bit surprising that they can't even add that to a Herpa Wings Club model. The elephant in the room is, of course, the very dodgy nose shape. I mean, whatever Herpa has done there, they should just stop doing it because they are ruining their otherwise really nice models with that. But when we compare the aircraft model to the thing in real life, well, I must say Herpa has overall done a very good job with this aircraft model. And in this case, it is simply the fact that the high expectations were met. Except for the cockpit shape. The model itself is of course already widely sold out, but if you can still get your hands on it, then I would say absolutely the aircraft is worth having in one's collection. Now with that, we have reached the end of today's episode. If you have enjoyed this video, then why not leave a like? That would be very much appreciated. And of course, if you are new around here, why not hit subscribe? That would be absolutely awesome. With that, I'd like to say thank you very much for watching. Hope to see you soon again. I'm checking out, and bye.